Hello, my name's Andrew and welcome to another Nature Notes. Okay, so today we're not exactly talking about a snake. And we're not exactly talking about an eel, but this animal is confused with both. We're talking about members of the Petromazonidae family, and they are known as the lamprey. So a lot of you see pictures that look a lot like this. Or you see the evidence of this. And these are from the sea lamprey, which I have a picture of here. Now, everyone knows about the sea lamprey and the troubles we've had with it in the Great Lakes and it doing damage to fish, trout, salmon. But not a lot of people know that we have native lamprey, not all of which are parasitic. So before we go over the different species of lamprey we have, I'm going to give you a little bit of general information. First, they are not eels. They are actually, again, in their own family, and one characteristic of this family is they do not have bottom jaws or bony skeletons. Their skeletons are made out of cartilage. They have the sucking discs, which make you think of a leech, but again, they are not leeches. And they're defined through their different types of teeth they have sucking around their mouth, whether they're single cuspid, which means 1 point, or bicuspid, which means 2 points. And that's one way they can identify them. Other ways they're identified is by size, color, shape, body segments, or how their fins are shaped. You can see they have a thin fin that runs along both sides of their tail, and they're usually connected. There can be 1 hump, 2 humps, different sizes, and that's another way we tell that they're different or apart. So the first one we have to go over today is the chestnut lamprey. This is our chestnut lamprey here. You can tell him apart because he has that chestnut color. He has more defined body segments, and the fin, the way it is all connected and one uniform mark. The chestnut lamprey lives in tributaries and open lakes and is parasitic. That means they are carnivorous. We also have our northern brook lamprey, which is a little bit more slender. It's a little bit darker in color. I like to use illustrations opposed to pictures because they show details that you can often be overseen in a picture. This guy happens to be not parasitic, and they filter feed when they're young and in their larval stage, and then as they get older they just stop eating. He tends to live in small streams and creeks. Next we have the silver lamprey, which is here. These guys are a little bit bigger, a little bit more like our sea lamprey. You can see the difference here. And again, you can identify him by the different shapes of their fins, etc. And he is another parasitic. They live in rivers and benthic water systems. And finally, we have our friend, the American brook lamprey. You can really tell him because he has those 2 very defined humps for his fins on his tail. And again, this guy is your friend. He is not parasitic, much like our other one. They filter feed is young, and they sit there and stop eating as adults until they breed and pass away. They live in tributaries, open lakes, just like our other lampreys. Now the reason you usually don't see these guys is we're not going to catch them on a fishing pole. They tend to hang out at the bottom, and they camouflage really well to their environment. Oftentimes what they do is they sit there and they migrate from the open waters up to stream beds, breed, and then pass away, just like many other migrating fish. And that's what I have to tell you about the lampreys, except for the fact that they do things, they're not always predators, things do eat them. Rainbow trouts, brown trouts, and rock bass will eat lamprey. Sounds like a delicious meal to me, and with that, Nature Notes is over.